So you just found out that your child has received this packet, a big old giant evaluation, and on there it says diagnosis of ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And you're thinking all sorts of things, and you're feeling all sorts of emotions there. Maybe one of them is you're worried. You're like, man, what does this mean for my child? Something wrong with them? Are they different? Are they not going to have friends? Are they going to struggle? All these what ifs, unknowns. Let's start with you care. And that's a wonderful point, right? You care, which is why you're listening to this video. I received my diagnosis later in life. And then when I look back, I remember as a kid, I saw the world differently. I felt different in certain spaces compared to other people. And that's where I want you to start. Now that your child has received this diagnosis of ADHD, a great place to start, right? A step forward is knowing that in a very simple, direct way, what it means is that they see the world in a different way. Doesn't mean that they see the world in an incorrect way or a bad way. And I'll give you an example of this. I have a child and they tell me that they're sitting in a classroom and they're taking a test. And then they describe to me that while taking a test, they notice a window outside and they start looking through the window and they see some birds. And then they move and they look at their test and the question bores them. And then the teacher says, pay attention. So they try to pay attention. But then they think about, I wonder why I just got called out. They turn in the test, it doesn't go too well. Right? That's an example of symptoms that connect to ADHD, but also it's a different brain. You see the world differently, right? Maybe the other kid next to them was taking the test and fully focused 100%, knocking out question after the question, which is great. It does not mean that your child is not great. Doesn't mean that. It just means that your child is describing their world, right? And there's ways to adjust that, right? There are strategies, management around it, interventions, all that good stuff. If you've received a diagnosis of your child having attention deficit hyperactive disorder, it does not mean that anything is wrong with them. What it does mean is that they see the world in a unique way. And that can be a space to begin that conversation, which is what I encourage you to do. Get to know your child, ask them questions, get to know how symptoms connected to their ADHD show up in their social spaces with friends, at school, in the classroom, at home. All of these spaces, get to know that. And as you get to know your child, get to know the professionals working with them. Ask questions. I hope you found this video helpful. My name is Dr. Santos. I'm a licensed counselor. As I mentioned before, got a touch of that ADHD there. If you have questions, reach out. If you're a concerned parent, reach out. I'm here to help answer whatever questions I can. Like, share, all that good stuff. Send this to a friend that you think will find it helpful. I'll see you in the next video.